This video is going to talk about the square root symbol. This is the square root symbol. When you put a number inside of it, what you want to figure out is what number times itself will equal 64. So, example in this case, 8. The square root of 64 is 8 because 8 times 8 is 64. Of course, there's also another answer that you could get. You might end up getting negative 8, because negative 8 times negative 8 will also equal positive 64. However, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be using the positive 8, which is called the principal, which is actually spelled like the person. This is the principal answer. This is the answer that you'll most likely use, is the positive answer without throwing in the negative 8. Sometimes you will see something that looks like this. What this means is you have a full equation in here, and you need to solve this equation. You see that there are some things inside the square root symbol. You need to solve what's inside the square root symbol first before you can do anything else. Don't find the square root of 12 and the square root of 3. Solve everything that's inside first. Treat it just like parentheses in PEMDAS. So, 12 over 3 is 4 times 5. The square root of 4 is going to be, and we see that PEMDAS, before I go on, exponents and square roots are solved in the same step. So you did parentheses up here because this is treated like it's inside parentheses. Now you're at the exponent step because you want to figure out what number times itself will equal 4. And it turns out to be 2. And you'll notice that I did this without any math. Some of these you just have to know, especially the more basic ones. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 is our final answer. If you see something like this, then you do what's inside the square root symbol first. But because our equation had the square root symbol over the entire problem, that's how we knew to solve inside first. Let's take a look at one more equation. Let's take a look at the square root of 8 times 2 plus 3. And you'll see that there are some things inside the square root symbol, which means that we need to solve that first. So, 8 times 2 is 16. I have to remember to put that symbol on top. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So 7 is my final answer. One other important thing to note with the square roots is that you might see a negative sign thrown in there. If you see this, this means the opposite of the square root of 36. The opposite of the square root of 36 would be the opposite of 6, which would just be negative 6. So here is where you get a negative answer for sure, and you know that that's what it's supposed to be. If you see something like this, this problem right here has no real answer to it, because there is no number that when multiplied by itself will get negative 49, because negative 7 times negative 7 is still positive 49. And you can't do negative 7 times 7 because these are two different numbers. So this would have no real answer.